Everyone. Sunday, June 21st. And first and foremost, let me wish you a happy Father's Day. If you happen to be a father or even a stepfather in helping to raise and shape the mind of the next generation, that is an important job. And so much so, I actually created an outline of another live stream I want to do about a message on Father's Day for the kids out there. So I will do that sometime this morning. But today, right now, this is about the daily financial news. And yes, we do this each and every day. Do yourself a favor and hit that little notification button if you would like to get your financial news each and every day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. And yes, even on Father's Day. Also, remember, we are going for 100 thumbs up or likes or whatever you call it on these daily shows. And if we do that, if we get 100 every day, we will do another live stream of questions and answers Saturday at 8 o'clock. We've done this the last 2 Saturdays, and they have been so much fun. I have every confidence in you that we will do that once again as a team. So if you have questions, leave them on any of the daily financial news of the week. I will then look at them sometime Friday afternoon and get ready for you on Saturday. All right, so don't forget to subscribe, send these videos around, ask people to join. Let's have some fun. So daily financial news. I'm actually going to start with TikTok. I don't know if you have seen this. There was a presidential rally in Tulsa, Oklahoma yesterday. And let's just say the attendance wasn't what was expected. And I've actually seen multiple articles about TikTok teens and K-pop. I don't know, K-pop followers kind of flooding requests for tickets, kind of making it look bigger than it was and then not showing up. So I think it's pretty funny that we're blaming, or TikTok could actually be involved in making a whole thing seem like it was going to be well attended, and it wasn't. I am pretty sure that that was not seen as a good day with all those empty seats. So I thought that was interesting. It's amazing what technology can do. So I thought that was funny. Next up, let's talk about key numbers for the week ahead. Right, there are market moving numbers coming next week, pretty much coming every week. But next week, Monday, right out of the gate, we have U.S. existing home sales. Last month, this number was down. We should see it rise. Probably not as much as, we won't see it rise as much as next month. Next month is going to be a crushing number. It's going to be awesome. There's just so little inventory and so much stuff is pending. I think Monday's number is going to be good, but I think the number that's reported in July will be great, if that makes any sense. Tuesday, new home sales. This was the shocker from last month, if you remember. I think they were expecting negative 22, and they basically got positive 1%. What we were seeing in new home sales was clearly a move from vertical cities and apartments to new construction. I think people will look back on this and see last month as the time that millennials finally came off the sidelines, decided that, you know what, we want space versus, the whatever it is, living in cities. And again, just more and more signs that New York and San Francisco are toast, right? There was the rent is falling in those markets, people are leaving, and that's going to have impact for years to come. Wednesday, really the only number of interest is there's a Germany business climate survey that comes out. And that's going to be important because Germany for the long time has been the shining star of Europe. So as Germany goes, Europe goes is kind of what I see there. And again, we are in a global economy, and we will need Europe to kind of come with us, right, out of this. Thursday, we of course will have the U.S. claims number. Man, we're still over 1 million folks. I think it was 1,000,005 last week. This sounds terrible. I really look for the day it's under 1 million. And again, remember the peak of the Great Recession was 660, I think. So even being under 1 million would not be no big thing. I'm really nervous about Thursday's claims. first off, I hope the trend continues, right? It's 13 weeks now, over a million. Don't quote me on that. It's at least 11. It might be 13. But we don't want to see the trend is down. It's been down, even though slightly the last couple of weeks. We can't see that go back up. If that goes back up, we do have second order derivative effects, and we're going to see more jobs that are harder to replace, higher incomes, things of that nature. It could get ugly. I do not think that's coming, but that's always the fear every week that comes out on Thursdays. Also, interestingly enough, Nike earnings come out. That will be interesting to see. Nike has a great online presence, so they are likely doing better than most retailers. But Nike is a worldwide brand, so we will see the impact of the worldwide kind of slowdown. And then Friday is going to be a really interesting one. We have U.S. personal income and spending. I think we're going to see that the U.S. consumer is saving. I really do. I think we're going to see that saving money, emergency fund is becoming a thing. As I've said for months, I think this event, unlike 9/11, unlike the dot-com crash, unlike the Great Recession, is going to fundamentally change consumer behavior. I see this event running another 6 quarters, and that's going to change behavior. And I think we will see it in U.S. personal income and spending first. I think that's where it will be most obvious. Next up, again, we're going to be talking about the Fed for a while. Hopefully I've made it clear. I think it came out a week ago now. The Fed is buying corporate bonds. And I just got a simple question for you, at least something that rattles around in my head is, capitalism. Part of capitalism is sometimes you fail, right? Companies go out, they go bankrupt, and then, there's rebirth and all of that. And with the Fed picking winners and losers and having extremely low rates, there will be likely hundreds, if not thousands, of companies that limp through this period that have no right in limping through. And I'm wondering what that does to capitalism long term, right? We're basically allocating capital inefficiently. That is what has happened. And there's going to be ramifications from that. And I can't put it together. But I am thinking about that. Something else we're seeing is since the crisis happened, there's been 2 trillion with a T, not a B, a T, of cash hitting deposit accounts at big banks, right? JP Morgan and so on and so forth, Bank of America. And just in April, $865 billion in cash has hit the accounts. And just to give you scale, $865 billion for April would be a record for a year. That's interesting, but let's not forget PPP loans and all the Fed stimulus. This money is coming in my opinion, right from the Fed or the Treasury. It should be no shock to anyone that April was a record month. The government sent out lots of low, if not 0% interest loans. So this is kind of disingenuous to me, but again, it was a big article from today, so I thought I'd share that. Already talked about TikTok. Saw that 30-year rates, obviously for the highest credit-worthy individuals, went under 3%. Man, 3%. That's crazy. I remember buying my first house and having something over 7. I never thought we'd see something with a 2 on it, but I think that's going to help a lot of first-time buyers get into homes. I see housing being a strength coming out of this. I see suburbs winning. I see big cities losing. It's going to be a very mixed bag. But, if you can get a 30-year fixed rate mortgage with a 2 on it, you are going to look like a genius in 3 to 5 years when inflation's 2%. I mean, it's just how it's going to roll. So if you can, do it, right? Space is good. Last crisis is always remembered. So you can do that. In the end, there's more and more data hitting the street that we've talked about. Big cities, New York, San Francisco, LA, in trouble. People are leaving. Rents are falling. I mean, I just saw a report yesterday that Mountain View rents where I live were down 16% in a month. Wow. Tech workers are leaving, right? Tech workers are leaving. They are going to tax-friendly states, and you should, right? Nevada, Texas, so on and so forth. So very, very interesting. And, I think it's about time we start asking ourselves, what a Joe Biden presidency would mean for us. Again, no, there's no, I'm not saying who I'm voting for. I'll never do that, but you should vote, right? That's one thing we've all been given. But I think it's time to start asking ourselves what a Joe Biden presidency would mean, right? If you believe the polls, there's obviously chatter that polls suck, but if you believe the polls, he's got a better than 50-50 chance of winning. So what does that mean? And more specifically for this channel, what does it mean for business? Because business employ people. People are consumers, right? So that's how I track that. And what does it mean for cost of capital? Those are the only two things I follow. So that I have to start asking myself that. We're about 130 days away from the election. So it will be, it's something we're going to have to talk about. I don't think there's a lot of meat on the bone yet. I don't think he's talking enough, right? I don't know who he is, but he's a career politician. He doesn't have any work experience, right? Wasn't ever really employed, never ran a company. He clearly has said he's going to roll back some tax breaks. And of course, probably like most presidents, he wants to reduce the income delta, right? All these platitudes that just sound good. I don't really see any meat on the bone. I hope that becomes obvious so we all have a choice that we can really make. But yeah, it's going to be interesting next 130 some odd days. Again, if you're still watching, don't forget to hit the thumbs up. We're not doing very well today. We've only got 2 thus far. We need to hit 100 each of the next 6 days so that we can do another live session where I just answer your questions. I have a lot of fun doing those, but hey, if we don't hit 100, that's okay. We'll postpone it a week and we'll do it the following week. All right, everybody, take care. And remember, I don't know, in another half hour or so, I'm going to do another live stream with a specific Father's Day message. All right, everybody, take care. Bye.